Okay, everybody. My name's Andrew Schultz, and we got a special one for you today. We got Billy Kellogg straight out of the Northwoods from Wisconsin. He's here to talk about big bucks, small town culture, and life on the dairy farm. You ain't gonna want to miss it. Tune in.
Welcome to the Tied to the Land podcast, presented by Acres, a platform for up-to-date data, mapping, market intel, and portfolio management. This show explores the connection people have with the land, the work it takes to care for it, and the legacies that are built on it. We dive deep into the stories and experiences that make that connection so meaningful. Whether you hunt, farm, ranch, or simply enjoy the outdoors, this podcast is for you.
What is going on, guys? My name is Andrew Schultz. This is the Tied to the Land podcast, and we are here with a special guest today, Mr. Billy Kellogg, straight out of Wisconsin. How's it going, Billy?
It's going great. It's warmer down here.
It is warmer down here, probably by, about 20 degrees right now?
Oh, yeah. Right now, at least.
How cold's it been back home?
Last Friday with the wind chill, negative 51.
Negative 51. Oof. I think I'll take it over 110 degrees, though.
Yeah. Makes for a lot of days in the house.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So, for everybody listening, we've been having this debate about who has the accent, whether it's me or Billy. So I guess we'll have to tune into the comments to see who y'all think has the accent. I don't know what Midwest is probably no accent. You got a northern accent.
I've always heard of a southern
kind
drawl.
Kind of a southern drawl down here.
I've never heard of a northern drawl.
It's the Northwoods, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Everybody answers a question with or no.
Dude, when I lived in Wisconsin and was selling up there for a while, I was just from Illinois, but people thought I was from Texas. It was like that drastic, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where I would have picked up an accent where somebody could mistake me for living in Texas, but that's what the Wisconsinites told me.
I didn't think you were like that when you were up there.
You didn't think I sounded like I was from Texas?
No, but I noticed it when I got here.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably thickened since I've moved to Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, man, let's get to it. Got a lot to talk about today. Primarily, want to just get to know you a little bit. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself. This doesn't need to be a 20-minute explanation of your whole life story. We'll get into that in a minute. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Grew up in small town Viola, Wisconsin. Raised on my parents' dairy farm there. Got through high school miraculously, and of all things, where I wouldn't have ended up, I ended up in a law enforcement career for 7 years, and went from that to operating my own land management business for whitetail habitat improvement. Gained several clients throughout that, and now we're doing land habitat management, all the way to new house landscape and everything in between.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
So you're recently married, right?
Yeah. Got married probably just a little, man, she'll really get after me if I get this wrong, but just a little over a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Yep, nothing special. We got engaged, and then...
Just to be clear, she is special.
Oh, yeah.
But you're saying your story's not special? Nothing special?
Well, we didn't do anything special for the wedding anyway.
Okay. Want to just clarify that.
Yeah. No, we decided we didn't want a big wedding. Flew to Montana, or drove, and got married in the mountains out there.
What part of Montana?
We ended up in Emigrant.
Okay.
Paradise Valley.
Yeah, pretty country.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. Another couple came out with us, good friends of ours, Shane and Emily Nottestead. They're the ones that actually got me into law enforcement.
Okay.
And they drove out. Shane got ordained sitting at the Rockton Tavern one night. And he married us.
That's awesome. I love that. I was going to ask how you got into law enforcement. So it was through a buddy of yours?
Yeah, I was just working on I did a lot of farm work and worked for different beef farmers in the area just as a hired hand when I was a lot younger, and just realized that wasn't where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I started doing Shane got me in touch with his wife, Emily, who was a sergeant in Viroqua. And
Okay.
started doing some ride-alongs with her, and then I ended up doing ride-alongs every night with several different officers, and eventually they had a position open up there where I wasn't even certified yet, and I got hired on the spot and started working there. And then I got hired by 3 or 4 other area departments and loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was everything I wanted, but I was sleeping on, I'd work a 10 to 12-hour shift at one department, sleep on a floor in the office for 3 or 4 hours and go to another department and work another shift. So,
Dang.
yeah, it kept me busy.
Yeah. And were you just putting in those long, hard hours to keep up with the bills?
Oh, yeah.
Or, I mean,
yeah, I never had much up until, that was my first, big boy job, I guess.
yeah.
But, I got into that, and I loved it so much. That's what I wanted to do all the time, so.
Yeah. But you're not doing that anymore.
No. Ran that out I worked full-time for Richland County Sheriff's Department as a sheriff's deputy there after all the part-time work for probably 3 or 4 years. And my habitat land management business took off so big I was trying to run that while I wasn't working and still sleeping 4 or 5 hours and burning both ends of the candle, I guess.
Man.
Had to make a decision, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously you're no stranger to hard work. Where does that come from? Is that from your upbringing? Is that just you had to make ends meet? I mean,
being raised just rural Wisconsin, I think it just, at least back then, instilled hard work ethics in you. Working on the dairy farm there for my dad, and just all around, just helping neighbors out all the time. I think that's just instilled with you from the beginning.
yeah. So you grew up on the dairy farm?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I couldn't imagine anything better. It was, we grew up on the family farm. We had hunting land right there. Didn't have to drive anywhere, just walk out the door and head to the woods. It's Kickapoo River frontage, grab a fishing pole, head to the river, and it was just everything you wanted right there, and just no neighbors out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, it was at the time I would say I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had to go out to the barn and do chores every night.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what are some of your earliest childhood memories of working on the dairy farm?
Oh, man. It was just a small 40-cow dairy farm, so none of the machines used on the large dairies, just small tractors, and we never had any of the skid steers that people have now. So it was, you fed everything by hand. So I'd have to go out every night and feed the cows haylage, push the cart around the barn and feed them all separately, and feed the baby calves, milk and grain, and do all that, and just to get my allowance,
Yeah. Which was what?
Oh, I think, man, it's hard to remember that long ago, but I think I got paid $2 or $3 every night for feeding the cattle. So, which, was a lot for a young kid. I thought it was the greatest thing ever.
So,
yeah.
Was it hard, your family having a dairy farm, outside of the hard work that goes into running a dairy farm? Like, what was it like financially? Because, when I was working in Wisconsin selling real estate, a lot of the smaller dairy farms, they couldn't survive.
Yeah.
And I know that there's even fewer small dairy farms today that are surviving, But back then you could make a living with a 40-cow operation.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it wasn't an extravagant one by any means. So
No, it was just honest living. The small dairies scattered the country and, rural southwest Wisconsin and probably all over, which now you drive around the country and there's just empty barns everywhere. Mm-hmm. But my dad stuck it out way longer than most guys would have.
Really?
Yeah.
How old was he, or how long ago did he retire from it?
They had the flood in 2008, which pretty much flooded out the whole farm, house included, barn, everything. Lost a few cattle. And shortly after that, I think he went on for another, it was probably quite a few more years, actually. I think he just sold his cows. He'll correct me if I'm wrong, but he probably hasn't had cows on the farm for 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
And is he happy to be done?
He misses the cows.
Does he?
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah, he was one of them guys that loved the cows, loved milking cows. I hated milking cows. I loved the tractor work. He didn't like that aspect of it. So,
yeah. So was it a family operation? Like, was it your dad's dad, or did your dad start that?
it was several generations.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, my dad's dad was there milking when I was a kid. So, yeah, he'd come to the farm every morning when we were there. You got to shake straw in every cow stall and clean the barns out, clean manure out. And then, I think even my grandfather's father, Cecil, ran a small farm. I don't think it was over 10 cows.
Wow.
Probably milking by hand.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy to think about those times, man. And then I think about like today in our culture, in our society, the people who are up in arms about anything that's produced by animals, whether it's meat, cheese, whatever. Like, I mean, most people go to the store, they grab a gallon of milk, and they don't think about guys like your dad, which is where it came from before all these big companies, came and bought out all these smaller dairy farms and essentially put them out of business. It's a super interesting industry when you really do a deep dive into it and how it's evolved and how Southwest Wisconsin was once just booming with dairy farms. Mm-hmm. And you don't see many still up and at it anymore.
Very small amount. Yeah, I miss it.
Yeah?
That was small dairies anyway. Everything's just factory farm now, several thousand cows. And I think it was, I don't want to say a better lifestyle where your food products were coming from, but it was just nice seeing all them people able to make a living in such a small community.
Yeah.
This podcast is sponsored by Oklahoma Ag Credit. At Oklahoma Ag Credit, they combine ag expertise with relationship-driven service to help you finance what matters most. From equipment and land and everything in between, your loan options are built to support your operation your way. Step into any of their 17 branches or call 405-938-1700 or visit okagcredit.com.
So what do you feel like is the draw to Southwest Wisconsin? I mean, moving on from dairy farms, obviously people are not relocating to Southwest Wisconsin to start a dairy farm anymore.
No.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on that.
No.
But
you're spot on.
What do you feel like is the draw to that area? What keeps you there other than being born and raised there, the people you know? Why do people find it such a desirable place? Because when I was living there, I felt like, and this hasn't been all that long ago, I mean, 2018, 2019, I felt like it was one of the most incredible places. Honestly, probably my favorite place I've ever lived.
Oh, yeah.
But nobody really knew about it at the time. At least I felt like that. You've probably seen outsiders come in for many, many years. But when people talk about, like, living in the Midwest, there's Illinois, there's Iowa, there's Kansas, but like nobody says driftless Wisconsin.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that whole driftless thing really exploded here. I don't know, it's probably been within that 8 to 10 year gap. And it just keeps exploding. I mean, it's just a whole nother area now. Everything's changed.
Yeah.
But it really has drawn a lot of people, but for very different reasons than farming. So it's just...
In your opinion, what makes the driftless area so unique? And what is that, like for the people listening who aren't familiar with it, what does that area encompass? Why is it called the driftless area?
I guess when I think of the driftless area, I guess it would kind of encompass for me from... just that whole Southwest Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I hear driftless, I just think of the trout streams and all that kind of culture that goes with it. It's pulled a ton of people into that area just specifically for the fishing experience.
So there's trout stream, and I know this, but for the people listening, there's trout streams in Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just, nothing bigger than 4-foot wide streams, but holds some of the best trout fishing in probably the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a huge, huge perk to that area.
Yeah, you drive down the roads there any weekend, you're going to see parked at all the bridges and access landings for the streams. You're going to see vehicles from Illinois, Minnesota, California, everywhere, Montana.
A Subaru or a RAV4.
Oh, yeah. Subarus for sure.
Yeah. Man, so the Driftless area, I know it encompasses a little bit of Iowa, a little bit of Northwest Illinois, but most of it's in Wisconsin. I think maybe even some in Minnesota, a little bit the other side of the river. But so here you have this place in Wisconsin. You've got incredible trout fishing, beautiful streams, hills, rolling topography, great mix of hardwoods, crops from corn and beans to hay and wheat and everything in between. You've got big deer there. I
was hoping you were going to get there.
We're going to get there, brother. I know you've been chomping at the bit. Boone and Crockett whitetails.
Yeah.
Thriving turkey populations. Incredible waterfowl hunting along the Mississippi River there. What am I missing? I mean, it really has something for everyone.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just different from anywhere that I've ever lived. And that place left a special mark on my heart for sure.
I can't believe you got away from it.
I don't know. I can't believe it either looking back on it. The only thing that I can think is it was all part of God's plan to lead me to my wife and to lead me to Arrowhead Land Company and to all the amazing people we have here. But it's probably I lived in Montana, and I think I loved Southwest Wisconsin even more than I loved living in Montana. But yeah, we're not talking about me. Let's talk about you. You've killed some stuff, man. You like to kill animals.
Man.
Big deer, lots of coyotes, a handful of other things. How did you get into hunting?
I was extremely fortunate in that aspect of it. Just growing up on the family farm, I had access to, the farm was split between two farms, probably 350 or 60 acres. Mm-hmm. And that was my playground, Got a BB gun one Christmas, and it was on.
What were you killing with the BB gun?
You name it. Birds, rabbits, squirrels, anything I could get close enough to.
And how old were you around this time?
Oh, probably 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that just kept progressing and got a 22 and squirrel hunting all the time. And, back then, the Wisconsin law, you had to be 12 years old to go hunting, so I had to wait till I was 12 years old to start deer hunting. But even at that point, I got to hunt with my dad, a few times, squirrel hunting and stuff like that. My first deer hunt when I was 12 was with my dad, and other than that, he just kept so busy with the farm. He spent all of his time there, but he found plenty of people to send me with. So.
Yeah. So, looking back on it, how do you feel like when you look at the sacrifices your dad was making, working to keep the family farm running, maybe even when you didn't understand it? Like, as a boy, were you just like, man, why won't Dad go hunting with me? Or I wish Dad could come out hunting with me. Like, when you look back now, how does it make you feel thinking about that?
I mean, I know in his mind, he was doing the best he wanted to do for us, just getting us through everything. It was hard for me to see that then. Mm-hmm. But, he'd call his brothers and call his cousin, and somebody would always come pick me up and go turkey hunting and go deer hunting. And, I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. So how old were you when you killed your first deer?
12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was quite an event.
Why do you say that?
Oh. Yeah,
Is there a story?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some of the, I wanted to kill big bucks.
Yeah.
Everybody at that time, when I was 12, was some of the guys, Dad's relatives hunting on our land were killing some big deer. But then I got it in my head that I maybe just wanted to kill a deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did this little deer drive. I was sitting by my dad, and the drivers were coming down one way, and the deer were running into the drivers for some reason. But a little fork horn came running by, and I looked at my dad. I said, "Can I shoot him?" "Yeah." I shot and missed, super bummed out, and just getting down on myself. And about 20 seconds later, here comes Mega 8-point, just same trail. Shot and dropped him right there. So
Really?
a little thankful for missing the fork horn.
So how big was the 8?
I never really put a tape to him, but he was like 17 and a half wide, super heavy mass, and real nice tine length.
That's awesome. That's a total Wisconsin thing too. You just reminded me. Everybody wants to talk about how wide the deer was.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody talks about the spread.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know.
It's not how many points. It's not like how many inches of antler.
Yeah.
It's the spread.
Oh, yeah.
He had at least a 22-inch wide spread on him.
That's that
Have you ever
Wisconsin
noticed
accent.
that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody's, how wide was he?
Yeah, how wide was he?
Yeah.
That's so funny to me. Just the little cultural differences amongst even demographics of hunters,
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's just different areas you go. Like when I first started hearing people talk about out west hunting, they're like, "Oh, it's a beautiful 6x6." I'm like, "A what?
Yeah.
A 12-pointer? You mean?"
Uh-huh.
No, it's a 6x6. So I never could wrap my head around that until later.
Yeah, or even 6x6 is also referred to as a 6-point. And
Oh, yeah.
Where we come from, a 6-point has 3 on one side and 3 on the other,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But out there, they would call that a 3-point.
Yeah.
So it's super interesting. What is the hunting culture in Wisconsin like? If you had to describe it.
It's the craziest thing you'll ever see. I mean, you were up there for it probably, but it's the Orange Army.
Yeah.
I mean, when I hear a hunting culture in Wisconsin, I automatically think of the gun deer season, and it is wild.
Why do you say that?
It's just a war zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy the gun season anymore just for the camaraderie more than I enjoy the actual hunting aspect of it. Mm-hmm. But it's one in a million. I mean, everybody gets together. It's like Christmas with guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the camaraderie for sure is incredible because it almost becomes, it's not even really about killing deer.
Yeah.
It's about just getting together and eating good food and, having some beers and hanging out.
Yeah.
And I mean, the camaraderie is just incredible during that Wisconsin gun season and sharing lots of good laughs and stories, of course. And, the buck poles and, from the old days, everybody'd hang their deer out on the buck pole. And
Yeah.
I've got a buddy. Have you met Brad Willits?
I don't think so.
All right, I got to link you up with Brad. But, he's from Minnesota originally, but has lived in Wisconsin for quite a while. And at his deer camp, they do a heart feed every year.
Oh,
So they'll
I could get on board with that.
take all the deer hearts from, I think, the year before. Don't be upset with me if I'm wrong, Brad, but they take all the deer hearts from the year before, or maybe it's the season before or something, and they'll fry them up and like have everybody over. They call it a heart feed,
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool.
I think that's the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, it's a special place, and you're born and raised there, worked there. I want to double back to something, and is it the hunting that gave you the desire to start working on people's farms? You briefly mentioned earlier that you started a habitat management business.
Yeah.
So how did you get into that, and what led you to that? You're still doing that now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just seen the need out there because we got brush invasives everywhere, much like you guys probably have down here too. Mm-hmm. But I'd seen the need for it, so I got a business plan together to get a track skid steer and brush hogging. We just started out calling it Kellogg brush hogging, and started going with that machine at the same time I was working with the sheriff's department. And within 2 years, I think we bought our second machine. I was trying to run two of them at the same time while I go to work, and it just kept taking off. And I think with whitetail culture around there really picked up. I mean, it just seems like Southwest Wisconsin exploded for that, and there's a ton of absentee landowners there that don't have the means to maintain the property to the ability that they'd like to, and that's where we really found our niche.
Yeah. So your niche is taking care of hunting property specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, man. And I'm sure you've had the chance to meet a ton of people from all over the country that are hunting that area.
It's wild. Yeah, we've got several clients from Florida all the way to, I got a new client last year out of Washington, D.C. area. We got guys from the western states. Everybody's trying to buy that little piece of ground to come to Wisconsin and kill the next booner.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think it's the hunting or the culture or a combination of both that brings most people into that area?
I'm sure there's a trifecta there,
Yeah,
but I mean,
yeah.
Southwest Wisconsin, I hate even repeating this because it sends more people to that area, but it's really put itself on the map for producing some good whitetails.
Yeah. Like how good of whitetails are we talking?
I mean, back when I first started hunting, if you seen something that was, I don't want to go with the width again, but if you seen something that was, 8 points and 17 inches wide, that was a huge deer.
Yeah.
But now, like, we're looking at them and just watching them walk by.
Yeah.
It's nothing to have with the right property, a couple 160s out there, and it's not uncommon seeing 180s strolling around. So,
I mean, from what I've seen, it's not uncommon for a 200-inch deer to be taken out of Southwest Wisconsin.
oh, absolutely.
I mean, there's lots of 200s coming out of that area. I say
They're there.
lots. Like, they exist.
They're there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. There's some absolute giants there. So you're doing the habitat management thing. That's going well. You've scaled that tremendously.
Yeah.
But there, I guess you could say maybe there was still a little void or a little something missing.
Here we go. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, what's the next chapter bringing for you?
Yeah. Well, I'll touch on that here. So I guess I got to be such good friends with so many clients from out of state and area clients and just even area landowners that this probably all took off, 5 or 6 years ago when we really started getting into the whitetail habitat. And I'd have landowners call me and say, hey, we're going to go on look at another piece of property, next week. We're going to meet there for a showing. We want you to come with us. Give us your opinions on this. Yeah, okay. So, and pretty soon I was going on showings, once a month, twice a month, watching all this go down, watching them buy land, watching them sell pieces and getting pieces ready to sell with our machines. And like, man, I'm kind of missing something here.
Yeah.
So that led to the next step. And I think I sent you a text one day and it just exploded from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said, what do you think about this if I were to try this? And I don't think you waited 20 seconds and you called me. You got to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Hey guys, this podcast is sponsored by Arrowhead Land Company. Their mission is to create, inspire, or advance a connection to the land in every person throughout the world and empower every person to pursue a better life through the freedom that comes from land ownership. These guys are the best of the best in the rural real estate business. If you need help buying or selling a farm, ranch, country home, anything that could be considered the rural lifestyle, give Arrowhead Land Company a call.
So I don't think you've just come right out and said it, but you're getting into the real estate business, the rural real estate space.
I am.
Selling farms and land and country homes, that type of thing. And I think you're going to crush it, first of all. I think you're going to do really well, and it's going to be really fulfilling. But, yeah, when you called me, I was like, dude, you'd be perfect. You absolutely need to do this. And, I know it's a sensitive subject for you because you've got great relationships with a number of other real estate agents in your area, and the way you talk, you're a great dude, and you've got a lot of respect for those people, and you've been able to help them. I'm sure they've been able to help you, send you clients.
Yeah.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, I feel like you've got a great opportunity, and one that you'd be silly to kind of look past.
Absolutely.
And so I'm excited. You're going to be coming on board with Arrowhead Land Company.
Yeah.
And helping us set roots in Wisconsin for the most part, really. And I couldn't have dreamed up a better dude to do it.
I'm thankful for that.
It's going to be great, man. What are, like, just speaking openly here, like, what are some of your concerns about getting into the real estate business?
I guess my biggest concern was taking all the schooling first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got that knocked out,
Yep.
passed your test.
Yeah, I'm not a taking classes kind of guy. I thought after high school that was all over with, but
Yeah.
no, it wasn't bad at all. I got through all that, and I knew I wanted to get into this, and I reached out to you because I honestly was just watching everything that comes out from Arrowhead on social media, and I just really liked the way you guys present yourselves, and I wanted that for my customers. Mm-hmm. Like I always tell all my customers, whether we're doing food plots or setting up blinds or mowing trails, just everything around the whitetail habitat management, I always tell them, if they don't succeed, I haven't succeeded. So, I wanted the best thing if I was going to get into this for my customers, and I believe the values here at Arrowhead were what I wanted for that.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I think we're not a great fit for everybody. We believe in people helping people and trying to be a better person, trying to grow in your faith, trying to be better today than you were yesterday.
Yeah.
We believe in teamwork and helping each other out. Don't get me wrong. Like, we have some guys that are more wired to run their own race, but for the most part, like, we all lock arms here and say we're a team. And for people wanting to get into the real estate business, that's not everyone's cup of tea. Like, they want to do their own thing, and that's okay too. But I mean, I think it's going to be a great fit for you here, and I'm excited to see what you do. And you're going to have all the support in the world if you need it. But I think it's going to be fun to watch you get going and kick some butt out there.
Probably a few rough steps to start, but we're going to get her.
Nah, I don't think so. It'll be good. That's just you being humble.
Oh, yeah. Gets that way as you get older, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
You in the midst of all your career changes, which you were a cop, eventually started your habitat management business, started doing that full time, let go of being a cop.
Yeah.
But somewhere in the middle there, you were doing a little bit of outfitting for a little while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we messed around with that for a while.
About a year. And so what made you decide to get into that? What made you decide to swiftly exit out of that? What was your experience there?
Getting into that, I think, you were up there selling some land around that time when I bought that first shed house with the property there. We were kicking around the idea of Airbnb renting it, or, starting up, not a fully guided outfitter, but just get guys in camp and let them do their own thing. And tried that for a year and realized I had a few guys come into camp. They had a lot of fun. It was fun, but I realized at the same time the work that I was putting into it was also going against what I really loved to do. And I was taking something that I really loved and almost destroying it, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because, I live for the rut, bow hunting. And then I found myself just not doing it at all. So that kind of killed me. So
Yeah.
we shut that down and turned the place into a Airbnb.
So was that an easy decision for you, like to put forth all that time and money and energy towards launching the outfitting business, and then just being like, well, I don't really like this the way I thought I did, so I guess I'm just not going to do it. Like, the way you described it sounded easy. Was it easy for you?
It was.
Really?
Yeah, I live for the hunt.
Yeah.
And I just had to get that through my head that, Yeah, I don't care what kind of money you're making on stuff like that. Yeah, it's good money, but at the end of the day, are you happy?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like you got money in your pocket, but you haven't hunted in the last 15 days.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I find my happiness is sitting in that stand. So,
Man, I love that. I think people get too, I don't want to say this, they get too set in their ways to where maybe it's pride, maybe it's ego. They start going down a path and early on probably realize that it's not what they thought it would be, or it's not the path that God intends for them to be walking down.
Yeah.
And instead of like pivoting like you did and changing things, they'll just keep going in that direction and just make themselves miserable, you know? And so I commend you for that, because it would have been really easy to say, well, I started this and I don't want to look silly in front of everybody, or I don't want to look like I failed, or like I was wrong. And so you could have just kept doing it, but it would have just led to misery for you, you know?
Oh yeah.
And I think we're blessed from the standpoint of we live in a society where if we don't like the thing we're doing within reason, like there's other opportunities out there, or there's ways to pivot and go in a different direction. And I always like, I guess, calling attention to that, because my story has been far from just a straight path down one direction, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, going from, Wisconsin to Montana, and then back to Illinois, where I'm from, and then Illinois to Oklahoma. And I mean, like, if you would have told me 10 years ago that this would be my story, I would have said, you're full of it, man.
Yeah.
But, you know, being unafraid to pivot when things aren't going the way that you thought they would, I think is something that people need to try to keep an open mind to.
Oh, yeah. And I think to back up on that, like, not to go way in reverse here, but when I was in law enforcement, you know, like I told you, I was so dedicated to that, and I thought it was going to be just everything I wanted, and I was going to work there till retirement.
Yeah.
You know, and then the business with the whitetail habitat management started taking off, and I was just running all over. And I brought up the idea. I get a ton of advice from my Uncle Jim. He's just a great guy for information like that.
Is he like a mentor of yours?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost a second father.
Okay.
You can just ask the guy anything. He helped me a lot with the paperwork starting the business, and beyond grateful for that. But when I started getting the idea in my head that I was going to leave law enforcement, you know, there's a bunch of people like, you're crazy. You can't do that. Like, this is secure. This is retirement. Mm-hmm. You have health insurance, all this. You're crazy. But, you know, I kept asking around to more people looking for advice and opinions, and I can't remember who it was, but this was like the turning point for me that made me hang up the gun belt. But somebody said, well, they said you can either do it or you don't, but don't get to be 50 years old and wonder what would have happened if you did.
Yeah.
And I thought about that, and I'm like, that would eat me alive. Like, I can always go back.
Sure.
So, yeah, walked in and handed the paperwork in, and 2 weeks later, out the door.
It's great advice. Man, and we've got, I run into it all the time with real estate agents who have that security that you're describing. Maybe it's not law enforcement. Maybe it's they've got another sales job, or maybe they farm, or, you know, whatever it might be, and they want to get into real estate full time.
Yeah.
But they're afraid to take that leap because of that security blanket. And I'm not knocking anybody. It's really common in our business. And you can always go back, like you said. Hey, you take a leap of faith and you go all in on real estate, and it doesn't go the way you thought it would, or it's not everything you dreamed of. You can always go back.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm predicting you're going to find yourself in a similar situation one more time, maybe one of these days, with now going into real estate and then trying to juggle the habitat management business. And so, but we're here to help you with that. And there's no pressure, you know, either way. But
I hope it does get to that point.
I think it will. We can place bets on it if you want. I'm not much of a betting man, but I think you're going to see that it's going to be hard to juggle both at some point. And that's for the folks who really start to take strides and do well in the real estate business, they figure that out early. They're like, man, this is not a sustainable path for forever, you know? So
I like to look at everything as you'll get out of it what you put in.
Yeah.
So,
No doubt.
I mean, if you ain't afraid to grind and keep after it, there's opportunities out there.
Yeah.
So,
Do you, man, this is really random. I'm jumping around all over on you now, but I got excited to have you here in Oklahoma so you could teach me a thing or two about coyote hunting.
oh boy.
Do you like deer hunting more than coyote hunting?
Really put me on the spot there.
Oh, yeah.
Bow hunting, yes.
Bow hunting whitetails?
Yeah.
You like more than coyote hunting by
That's
smidge?
my bread and butter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Coyote hunting's just, you only get a certain time period for hunting whitetails, but coyote hunting's just nonstop all winter, and I mean, honestly, year round if you want it to be. And I'll travel a lot further for coyotes than I will for whitetails.
Yeah.
And we go South Dakota. I guess we can check Oklahoma off the list now. I go to Missouri every year with another good buddy of mine, Russell, down there. Been going down there ever since not to jump off on another. When the Joplin tornado happened, I threw all my stuff in the trunk of my car, chainsaw, a tank of gas, and a suitcase, and went down to Joplin and helped. And
Just randomly?
Yeah.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, it actually just kind of got out of a job.
Like you didn't know anybody? You just
No.
packed up the truck and headed down there?
Yeah, I got home and the news was on TV, and there was a weather reporter on there that was basically crying as he reported it, and the city was, you've probably seen it.
Yeah.
Just leveled. I'm like, well, I ain't doing nothing. So, yeah, I'll never forget it. I had not much to my name.
Yeah.
But, yeah, had a car and a chainsaw, so threw some things in the trunk and hit the road.
That's incredible, man. That speaks so much to your character, and I'm not trying to toot your horn, but like so many people talk about doing that stuff, or they'll donate to the relief fund, and that's cool. And I'm not saying one's better than the other, but like that takes some serious dedication and selflessness to hop in the vehicle and drive across the country to help those people.
An awesome experience. I would never give it up for the world because, I met one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Down there, I got invited to work on, and it was probably 8 or 9 guys.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand what they were saying, but Southern drawl from you, and they couldn't understand me. They kept, what?
Yeah. It's so funny, man. I've listened to you talk sometimes, and I got to listen kind of intently, I'm like, what did he just say there?
But the Southern hospitality I learned down there, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the buddy now, Russell, he asked me, he goes, where are you staying tonight? I said, I got a campground slot. I'm sleeping in the back seat of my car. I said, I'll be back tomorrow. No. I said, what do you mean, no? You're coming home with me. You're going to get a hot meal and a shower. No, I'm not. He goes, it's not an option. Yeah, he drove my car to his house, opened the front door, and his wife, Sarah, was standing there, and
wow.
He didn't call her or anything. Hi, this is Bill. Hi, Bill. Yeah. Now they're some of the best friends we've ever had. So
that's awesome, man. I feel like when God's at work, you just don't know how he can impact your life in a positive way. You know what I mean? And here you were thinking that you're just going to go down and probably lend a helping hand and head back. And you made an incredible friendship along the way. And that was that.
Yeah, now we're down there every year. So
yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, they come up north and bow hunt with us, and we get to go down there and kill their coyotes. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, good time.
That's fun, man. Well, dude, I'm excited for you. I think the sky's the limit for you. You've got a great thing going. You've built a beautiful life with your wife in the outdoors. Just the relationship with your dad and your uncles and, the other people who got you into the outdoors and taught you the value of hard work. And I'm just really grateful for your friendship and that you're going to be joining the team here at Arrowhead. And for those of you in Wisconsin who are looking for somebody to work with, Billy's your guy. You just heard he didn't He didn't realize I was going to leverage this like this, but the guy's literally willing to jump in his vehicle and drive across the country to help tornado victims. So imagine what he'll do for you in the real estate business.
Setting the bar high.
So, yep, if you need him to jump in his car and come chainsaw things for you, it sounds like he's good for that.
Man. I'm thankful to be here, and I'm beyond blessed for the opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Cool. Right on, man. Well, guys, again, this is Billy Kellogg from Wisconsin, a.k.a. the Northwoods. And this is Andrew Schultz. This is the Tied to the Land podcast, and thanks for tuning in today.